is practical.
Hello, I'm Portia, Practical Portia Crafts, and today I am going to go over this very simple, so easy, corner to corner rectangular scarf. And it's all Tunisian crochet, it's all Tunisian simple stitch. You're going to do a simple stitch two together, and you're going to do an increase of a front and a back loop. And I just kind of snagged that from knitting. It felt like it was like the easiest way to do it, because using the full stitch, which I started using the full stitch here at the beginning, it leaves that gap, and I did not like that. um, so as I went along, I started just increasing with the front and the back loop, and I'm going to go over that, and there's no more of this huge gap. So um, and I just love corner to corner because you get this gradual change of colors, which I think is adorable, especially in a scarf. I love that it's like a diagonal look, because technically you are going at a diagonal because you're making it from one corner to the other corner. So we're going to go over that today. Um, this was made, oh no, I didn't grab my, uh, I don't see it near me. But this was made with a mandala cake, a Lion Brand. I love some Lion Brand. Mandala cake, it was one cake. I had this much left out of one cake to make this whole scarf. And the scarf is like my arm's width. I do not know that exact measurement, but it's pretty long. Um, I will measure it and I will put it in the description box. But for right now, I'm just going to go over making it a very small sample of this, just to show you the increasing, the decreasing and increasing, and then the decreasing, decreasing. So for the sample, we're just going to use a Lion Brand ice cream yarn. And this is also a weight of 3 like the mandala. And I'm using a 7mm Tunisian crochet hook, which for this sample I don't need an actual Tunisian crochet hook because I am not going to make it that wide. But this is going to be very versatile. You can make it as wide or as long as you would like. Um, and let's see, just going to pull a length so I don't have to fight it as we go about our tutorial. Um, and let's just jump right in and get started. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start this with a slip knot. I always just twist my yarn around and pull up a loop. I'm going to pop my hook in there, tighten it down, chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to skip this first chain from the hook because the loop that is on your hook counts as that first one. You're going to just pull up a loop in the second chain and then pull up a loop in this third chain, if I can grab it. And then you're going to just do a normal return pass, which is chaining 1, and then you're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we're going to start our increasing, and for our increasing we are going to go in here. So normally you would just go in here for a Tunisian Simple, but since we're increasing, we're going to go here in this space as a Tunisian full stitch. So after you get your full stitch here, you're going to, instead of simpling here, you're going to pull up a loop on this back. So you have this back side here, and then you have the front. You're going to go underneath the back, and then you're going to pull up a loop under the front. So let's do the back first. I'm pulling up a loop here, and then we're going to go through the front and pull up a loop. And then for our last bit here, you can turn it to the side so it's easier to see that. And you're going to just slide under that in, and then chain one. So you'll have another end to go into when you come back through. And then you're just going to pull through two, pull through two, and pull through two right down the row. And so you're going to keep going about it that way. So you're going to full stitch here at the beginning. You're going to simple, and you're going to simple until you have one more space for your simple and then your last. So that second to last, you're going to pull it up. You see that you have a front and a back side of this one stitch, but you're going to go through the back side of the stitch and pull up a loop, and then you're going to go through the front side of the stitch and pull up a loop, and then just go underneath this end as normal, chain one, and then pull through two down the row. Alright, now I'm going to do that one more time, so I'm going to have a nice little sample. So increase here, then simple down the row, and then on that second to last stitch, if you need to pull at it so you can really see the front and the back, you can do that. And just go underneath that back first, and then go underneath the front, and then just turn it to the side and make sure you get two loops on that end so you can have a nice straight end going up your scarf. And then just go ahead, chain one, and then pull through two down the row. And like I said before, you can make this as wide as you like, or you'll also be able to make it as long as you like. We're going to just make it, that's going to be as wide as we're going to make it. So if you turn it on its side, that's as wide as it's going to be. And then we're going to start working up, and I'll show you how to achieve that. So before you start any decreasing, what I do, and it helps with the curl, is I just do a plain row. So just do Tunisian Simple down your row. It's like your buffer zone before you start any decreasing. Then just go through that end as normal. And then just chain one, and then pull through two loops down the row. Sorry. Now that you've gotten that little buffer zone, what you're going to do is start your decreasing, but since I still want it to be long, I'm going to start decreasing because this is as wide as I want, and then I will continue increasing on this side. So to do your decreasing, what you're going to do is Tunisian Simple stitch two together. So instead of just going under the one or making anything, you're just going to go and pull a loop under two. And after you get your loop under two, you're going to simple stitch down the row till you get to the last two. And then now you have your last two stitches. What you're going to do is continue your increasing. So remember, pull that up if you need to in order to see that back leg, and go ahead and pull up a loop in the back, and then pull up a loop in the front loop. And go ahead and go under this end loop as normal, and do a return pass as normal. Chaining one and going, pulling through 2 down the row. And don't worry about curling because Tunisian naturally curls. If you want, you can block it, but this is not going to be as bad, especially if you're using at least 2 sizes higher than the recommended hook size. It'll help tremendously with the curl. So now remember, I'm still decreasing on this side, and I'm going to continue decreasing on this side for every row except for where my buffers when I'm changing. So just always remember to go under the first 2 when you're in your decreasing mode. So after you've gotten it as wide as you would like, go under that first 2 and just continue your decreasing. And I mean, you can make this a scarf, or you could make it longer and make it, you know, a blanket. You can do a little Afghan. It's really very versatile. You can make it as wide and as long as you want. And so while I am doing my increasing on this side, it's going to keep growing my project up. And since I am decreasing on this side, as you can see, it's going to keep this width. It's not going to stretch out anymore that way. It's just going to continue to grow this way. And I'm going to have more and more loops on my hook, and that's why if you're going to make a blanket or something, you might want to get something with a cord that'll be long enough to hold all of your stitches. But for a scarf, a straight Tunisian crochet hook should suffice. So after you do your normal return pass, remember you're just going to go under the first 2 again to do your decreasing and keeping that row nice and tight. And then you're going to simple stitch down the row to get to your last 2. And then you're going to do your increase with pulling up a loop through the back, and then pulling up a loop through that front leg of the same stitch, and then you're going to pull up a loop on that edge and chain 1 and pull through 2 down the row as normal. Sorry, I am trying not to hit this desk. I should have just grabbed a regular crochet hook for this tutorial because I'm making this little sample. I'm going to maybe go 2 more rows, and then I will show you the transition and then the decrease. And the transition row again is just simple stitching down the row. So let me get 2 more rows done really quick, and I'll be right back. Alright, I've gone 2 more rows just so you can see it's still growing this way and just going straight up this way. And now we're going to do another buffer row before we start decreasing on both sides. So I am just going to, like I said before, simple stitch down the row. Just a normal Tunisian simple stitch row. Basically, this is helping us to turn that corner. And then you're going to do a normal return pass. So you're going to chain your 1, pull through 2 down the row, and then you're going to start decreasing on both ends, or both sides. So I'm going to Tunisian simple stitch 2 together, and then I'm going to simple stitch down the row to the last 3. So I have my last 3 stitches here. I'm going to Tunisian simple stitch 2 together, and then just go under that last stitch as normal, and then return pass as normal. So chain your 1 and pull through 2 down the row. Alright, and now I'm just going to decrease the beginning to, I'm going to simple to the last 3, and simple to the last 3, and then I am going to Tunisian Simple 2 together, and then go through, don't forget that last 1 on the edge, and try to get your go under 2 loops when you're on your edge stitch, and then you chain your 1 and pull through 2 down the row. And then you're going to Tunisian Simple 2 together, and now I only have that 1. I'm going to simple it, and then I am going to return pass as normal, and now I'm down to my 3, so I'm going to, I'm sorry, I'm down to 4. Now I'm going to be down to my 3. I have 1, 2, and then I'm going under this last loop here. I'm going to pull through 1, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then just bind that off and bind that off. And what I did to help shape this up a little bit, normally you would just, I don't really want to cut this yarn though, because I could use this for something. I'll take this, the edge, and when I flip it over to sew it in, I would just tuck that down and it'll pull. I'll do that real quick. It'll just give that a little shape. So just slide it in there. And slide it down. Tug that a little bit, and you already see that it's you know, tucking that in so it's not so garish. And then I'll sew this in a way that it just kind of tightens that up, which I'm not going to really want to do that right now, because like I said, I'm definitely going to use this yarn for something. And then you would do the same thing to this one. So after you snip your yarn, and you snip your yarn after you like chain your 1, and then flip it over, and you have these nice little bumps, and you can just slide them through, and it'll help you to kind of shape that up. And then that'll be your scarf, or whatever you decide to make with this, whether it be a blanket or, I mean, really anything. If you want to just make it square, you can make it a shawl, a nice rectangular shawl. Possibilities with this are whatever you decide. They're endless. Whatever you decide to make. So thank you all for watching. I would love to see what you all end up making, especially if you make a blanket, because I kind of want to make a blanket, but I have like so many blankets on my whip pile right now that I can't do it. I can't commit until I at least finish 2 or 3 of them. That's pretty bad. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and hit me up on my other social media.